Hey everybody. Well, it's summertime in Texas, which I hate. I really need to move to Canada or something. But hope everyone's doing well. I haven't made any videos in quite a while. Just been busy, I guess. I had a kind of a big video thing planned this weekend, but looks like it's going to be next weekend because a couple of the records that I need for it I had ordered and thought they'd come in, but they didn't. They should be in the next few days. So that's something to look forward to, or not, coming up. But anyway, I wasn't going to do any videos this weekend, but I was watching a guy named Ian, who lives over in England. His username is Forkerball, Forkerball. I don't know what that means, but he's not in the VC. He's a movie guy. In fact, I've never heard him talk about music, so I don't know what his take on that stuff is. But he loves movies, everything from back in the silent days up to current movies. Seems kind of like the older movies more, which is kind of the same with me. So, Forkerball, if you like movies, go check his channel out. He's knows what he's talking about, and he's kind of fun to watch, and got some good things to say there. Anyway, he did a tag video, and the or challenge or tag, I guess, whatever you call it, to use take your username or your name, which in my case is one and the same. Take that name, and for each letter of that name a movie. It's like the first letter of your name was started with G, say Gone with the Wind or The Godfather or whatever. So I thought that'd be kind of fun. And I would like to tag Joe Mean Mr. Mayo because in addition to his music channel, he's got something called Mayo's Marquee, which he doesn't do very often, but he comes on and talks about movies. Wish he'd do more of those because I enjoy those in addition to his music videos. And also Rockboy 680, James Lack, who he's done a few movie and DVD videos. It's been a long time, but he's done a few. So if you two guys want to do it, I'd like to watch it. It'd be kind of fun. If anyone else out there watching it would like to do it, I think it'd be fun. So Matthew Smith is me, so let's get started. I went with the movie M. It's a great old movie from 1931 with Peter Lorre. Silent movie, if that bothers you, but it shouldn't because a lot of those movies are a lot better than anything out nowadays. But it's about a serial killer who's running around killing children. It's just kind of a creepy, well done thriller, edge of your seat thing. The police are all up in arms because they can't find this guy. The townspeople are all up in arms because children are getting killed, obviously, but the police and all aren't able to find them, so they're all, why don't you catch this guy? The bad guys, I don't know, organized crime guys, they're all up in arms because I guess even bad guys don't really go for killing kids for no reason. But also because of this going on, the police are extra vigilant and out running around, and that's putting a damper in their organized crime thing. So they're looking for this guy, and everyone in town's looking for the guy, and the police are looking for him. It's just a really good thriller. It's called M. Peter Lorre again. I went with Amadeus, Best Picture winner in 1984. Great music, great cinematography, great story about Mozart and his rival Salieri. And I know it's a movie I really liked. If you like music, obviously, but it's funny because I saw the movie and Tom Hulce, I think is the guy's name, who plays Mozart. And I was watching that with a girlfriend of mine at the time back in '84 when I was at the movie theater. I was thinking, who is that guy? Who is that guy? I've seen him before. Couldn't think of it. She was saying the same. And theater was, full of people. And about halfway through the movie, someone several rows behind us goes, "Oh, that's Pinto from Animal House," and you kind of hear the whole theater go, "Yeah, that's where I saw him." But anyway, it's a great movie. I went with Third Man, so Orson Welles and Joseph Cotten. I don't know why I picked that. I'm not a big fan of that. Usually with those old classic movies that are considered classics, I usually right on board. But I saw that movie, and that's one of them that the charms of it just escaped me for some time. Probably need to watch it again sometime because I've only seen it, I think seen it a couple of times, but it's been years. But I didn't Really like it that much. I'm not sure why I picked it. T again, because Matthew has two. Went with The Terminator. Remember seeing that too. That came out, what, 84, 85. Friend of, friend of mine said, this is a good movie, go see it. I thought Arnold Schwarzenegger, that guy can't act his way out of a paper bag. I don't want to go see this, but I did. It's a great movie, and he's a terrible actor, but he really fit this role. Um, he never really made a good movie otherwise, with the exception of Terminator 2. But which brings me to the second part, that this is one of those very rare occasions where the sequel is as good or almost as good as the original. I guess very few others. Godfather 2 comes to mind, and Terminator 2. But I went to see this, and I was just expecting just a bunch of shoot 'em up and car explosions and mindless running around action stuff. It has all that, but that's fine if you have a story with it. I like a story, and it has a good story too. So I really like that movie. H, I'm going with Help. First Beatles movie I ever saw, and it's also my favorite. Technically, Hard Day's Night's, the better movie, but I love Hard Day's Night. But Help has always been a big favorite of mine. E, I'm gonna go East of Eden, old James Dean movie. It's another one I need to watch again, because when I saw it, I didn't like it. The reason I mean, James Dean did fine, and the actors did fine in it, and I like the other Rebel Without a Cause and Giant. But the reason I didn't like it when I saw it was I'd read the book, and it's hot as hell out here. I'd read the book before I saw the movie, and the book's in like 3 parts or 4 parts. John Steinbeck book, really good story. And the movie only does like the middle part of the book, so it's not the whole, which maybe probably be a 4-hour movie if they did the whole book. But I was kind of disappointed that they didn't do the whole thing. It's not a bad movie. It's just I like the book better. W, and that's where book was better than the movie, which is usually the case. W, I'm going with World According to Garp. Came out in 1982. The book, I think, 76 is when that came out. I didn't read the book for the first time until 82, because I'd heard there was going to be a movie coming out, and I read the book. I really liked it. I was in California. There's a whole story about what was going on in my life at that time, but that's to take too long to get into. But I really liked the book. I was looking forward to the movie. The problem I had with the movie was that I knew Robin Williams was going to play Garp. Wasn't a Robin Williams fan, still really not. He was talented and all that. I don't say that he wasn't, but Mork and Mindy was really all I knew him from at that point. He had made a movie of Popeye, which I never saw, still haven't. But Mork and Mindy was a silly show. I never liked it. So I was thinking, I don't know how this is going to work. But turned out he did really good in the role. Great movie, and it's probably his best movie role, in my opinion. But it's a great movie, and it's where I said with East of Eden, the book was better than the movie. This is one of those very rare cases where the movie's as good as the book, or at least close to it. They were both great, maybe for different reasons, but World According to Garp is a great movie. So we get to Smith now. S is Shag from 1989. This is one of the, in the 80s, you had all those teenage films, the coming-of-age teenage films. Most of those were the most famous ones, of course, are like The Breakfast Club and Pretty in Pink and 16 Candles, the John Hughes movies. But you had Fast Times at Ridgemont High and Flamingo Kid. You had a bunch of them. This is Valley Girl, maybe, and then this one would be my favorite of those movies. And they're all kind of considered classics now, especially by people our age who were in our teenage years and 20s back in the 80s when these things came out. Shag is a group of kids in South Carolina in the early 60s, kind of a coming-of-age film. It's one of those movies that could have really easily been just a bunch of sex jokes and crude humor and kids running around getting drunk and chasing girls, but whoever wrote it actually took the time to write a good story. And I'm not saying that it's Citizen Kane or The Godfather, but it's a good story. And it was kind of overlooked and forgotten. It kind of got a cult following after it came out in '89. Problem was, by 1989, all the teen film stuff of the '80s, early mid-'80s, it probably pretty much run its course, so it got ignored. It's a lot of fun. It's got Phoebe Cates in it, and that's always a plus. M, I'm going with Man in the Moon, which was from, I believe, 1991 or so, early 90s. This is Reese Witherspoon's first movie. I think she's like 14 in it, when 14 or so, she's a kid. Another coming of age movie set in the Deep South in the 50s, and just a good story, good acting. She was actually a pretty good actress till she got real famous and then just started making sort of popular movies to make money. But just a good story. It's the 50s and family living out in the country, and check it out. It's worth. I I came up with I Confess, which is I think Alfred Hitchcock movie. I just couldn't really think of too many I movies, so and I've never seen it, so I don't know. I Station Zebra, that's another I movie. Never saw that either. T, Terms of Endearment, which was never a favorite of mine, but I used to work at a movie theater and we had that playing. Was real popular. It's not a bad movie, but it's just the first thing that came to mind. And H, I'm going with Hotel New Hampshire, which is another book by John Irving, like World According to Garp, which was turned into a movie. Not as good as World According to Garp, but it's. I remember seeing that when that came out new, and the book's not as good as World According to Garp either, but it's okay. Anyway, that's that. I'll have another video on music-related stuff and kind of a bigger. Kind of a neat thing I'm wanting to do, been wanting to do for quite a while next week. And so, yeah, Joe and Rock Boy, if you'd like to do this challenge, I would invite you to do so. Anyone else watching this, I'd invite you to as well. Have fun. We'll see you all next week.